Hi, I'm Rebecca Baxter. I just wanted to show you how easy it is when you've got a really good feeding top to be quite discreet with your breastfeeding in public. So this top I've got has a piece that can be pulled upwards and a piece that can be pulled sideways. So you can see, even though he's having a little bit of trouble getting on, I'm still not being all that exposed. To me, when you look at this now, it just looks like I'm giving him a cuddle. So this is one of the great tops. Just you've got a piece that comes across the top of your breast as well as the pieces that come down through the side. So then when he comes off, whatever's easiest, you can pull down the top bit so that's covering your nipple, or you can pull across the side bit so it's covering your nipple as well. This is probably the easiest hold to use when you are in public, I find, because it is a bit easier to be discreet. That's it. Good boy. So this is the cradle hold, and you can see he's just resting on my arm there. When they get a bit bigger, they start to get quite heavy. So initially I've had to be quite cautious because he didn't have a very good latch initially. I've had to be quite cautious about having him quite far. You can see his head's really resting on my wrist there. That was so that I could get a good latch from him, because it really allows him to be further across my body so that his head can tilt back a little bit. That's the key to getting them to tilt their head back, is to be able to have them across your body a little bit further. But after a while your wrist gets a bit sore, particularly as they start putting on weight. So I wanted to show you a couple of other things that I do to help myself feel comfortable while I'm breastfeeding. So you can either use your cross cradle hold, which means you're going to use the other arm for the one that they're feeding with. So you pop it underneath and you just have a gentle hold under here. Now you can see I'm not really putting my hand in, like right in underneath his head. It's sort of mainly in underneath his shoulder area, and that's called the cross cradle hold. That one can be really useful if you're needing to do some breast compressions through the side here and through this way. But I quite like using the normal cradle hold to do breast compressions anyway. The other thing I do, once he is attached and on well, then I'll pop my elbow in right close up. Good boy. So then he's on a different part. You can see my wrist is much further down now. It's in behind his shoulder blades now rather than in underneath his head. So that just helps you be able to use a different part of your arm to rest their head on. The other thing I do as well, once they start getting a little bit too heavy, and if they're having a really long feed, which they do, and they're having a big growth spurt or something, I'll actually turn it so that my hand faces down rather than towards their body, and that just again puts them onto a different part of your forearm. Then I'll place this hand actually onto the opposite leg, and I've got his bottom down on the opposite leg as well, and that helps you to be able to support yourself with a lever rather than just using your arm to hold them up, which is quite a nice thing I find at times. Certainly being able to rest their bottom on your other leg is quite useful. So you can see he's come off quite a few times and hasn't really exposed me too badly. You finished? Or are you still going? Good boy. I've also got my leg crossed a little bit, so that then I can just change the distribution of their weight, and that will really help you out to try and make things a bit more comfortable for those longer feeds. Anyway, good luck with your breastfeeding journey.